podcast that you're about to hear contains acts of sex and violence. The hosts do not claim to be experts on the subjects that they present. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to Brutal Nation, a podcast series dedicated to lesser-known serial killers and acts of crime. Ta-da! I wanted to do that to add a little bit of levity to all this crap that we've been doing.
I know. We need to, because we got some real doozies this week.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of stuck on a few that we did. I mean, I thought Toy Box Killer was going to be it for me, but...
No. Well, wait until you hear what I have planned for Wednesday.
Jesus Christ. Okay, guys. I'm your host, Scott Alexander, and right across from me is the one, the only, Tammy Underwood. Say hi, Tam.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so I got something a little special for us as soon as I can pull this son of a bitch up. Jesus Christ, I love technology. This is just great.
You know, got to be smarter than a computer sometimes there, Scott.
I'm not, and I'll full on fucking admit that.
I know you have many times that when it comes to, like, you're like, I'm a genius when it comes to music, but when it comes to the computers, I'm an idiot.
Oh, anything technology related. Yeah, I'm a fucking moron when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
There goes a motorcycle.
That's fantastic. A little fucking... Anyway, I'm just over here grumbling. Mm-hmm. So today for you, I got James Clifford Carson and Suzan Carson.
Oh, yeah.
But...
Twisted Tuesday.
This is Twisted Tuesday.
That is. And then, from what I hear, these guys are twisted.
So I want you to keep the names in your head because their names are going to change. The names have been changed not to protect the innocent, but because people are freaks.
So it's like James and Suzan Carson, right?
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
My opening thought. God's a wondrous thing. It really does not matter if you believe or not. Some people believe in Jesus while others bow to Allah. And still others that are countless. There are countless other religions throughout the world.
True.
What happens when you take what you believe too far, though? What happens when you think that you are acting for God? Would you choose who you think that God would kill based on your own set of standards, your own rules? How far would you go? And what if you were wrong? And that's going to play into what we're talking about today, boys and girls. And I want to start off with something really interesting that I had found, which is a actual interview done by Carrie Pena, a 3TV reporter, on Monday, February 27th, 2006. This was with his daughter.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And where's this out of? Is it California?
I think it might be Arizona, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm not positive. It didn't say.
You're
This is
not
with
sure?
Michael Carson's daughter.
Okay.
It was a dark family secret kept hidden for years. Now the daughter of a serial killer speaks out. Jen Carson lives here in the Valley. I'm assuming this is California then, if they're talking about
Yeah, if they're talking Valley.
Yeah. At the age of 31, she has finally come to the point where she can talk openly about her father without shame or guilt.
Fear.
Yeah, or fear.
That's all I could think
We're going to get
about.
to some cool shit about that in a minute.
Okay, yeah, because, I mean, serial killer for our father, you know there's fear there.
Oh, we'll get there. She
Okay.
recently sat with 3TV to share a story of survival. Jen's earliest memories are good ones. She was totally a daddy's girl, she said. In the eyes of his adoring daughter, Michael Carson could do no wrong. My father was brilliant, Jen said. He had a master's degree and a degree in Chinese studies.
Now, does she have siblings?
I think she was an only child with Michael. I'm not sure about her mom, and you'll find out why here in a bit.
No, okay. You know, because I was just curious because it almost sounds like a docuseries I was watching, but this other chick had siblings, so.
Yeah, I didn't find any siblings, but I didn't look for siblings either, so there you go, because, you know, she's not a killer.
That's true. We don't care about the family so much.
But brilliance would soon give way to madness.
Okay.
My mom just saw this person who she loved dearly change before her eyes, Jen said. I think she realized that he was heading for an explosion. One night, we just packed up the car and disappeared. And you'll find out why, too. Don't worry.
Okay.
I know you're chomping at the bit.
I'm going to chop it up.
Jen was just shy of 5 years old when she and her mother fled to California. So I guess they are in California.
Okay.
In the meantime, her father remained in Phoenix, where he ended up remarrying.
Okay.
Susan, who was his wife,
His second wife.
right,
Okay.
had recently divorced with 2 teenage kids. She had lived a very normal life, country club Scottsdale life. So
Ooh.
Scottsdale, Arizona, she said.
Yeah. And a country club life's pretty,
Oh, yeah.
high end there.
Fueled by drugs, Susan and Michael started a downward spiral that would end up in the murderous rampage.
Oh, wow.
When I was 7, the murder spree started, Jen said. And he was convicted when I was 9 because reading is hard. Jen's mom couldn't keep it from her any longer. It was time to talk about the truth. She said, Daddy gotten a lot worse, and he's very, very sick. And he hurt a bunch of people, and that they're no longer alive anymore. Jen
That
said.
like downplays it a whole lot, doesn't it?
A bunch. Wait.
Yeah.
We'll get to the meat and potatoes of this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because that like dad's sick and he hurt a bunch of people. That is so downplaying everything.
Oh, totally.
So
Okay, let's get to the first victim was Karen Barnes, age 22.
okay.
He killed her by bashing her over the head with a frying pan
Holy shit.
and then stabbing her multiple times. And we're going to get into that.
That's
Don't worry.
brutal.
We're going to visit all this.
Oh, we're gonna come back. You're gonna rewind and
Much like
circle
my
back.
normal life, everything works in big circles.
I was gonna say, are we circling back again?
Let me get a quick sip of my coffee. Sorry,
Okay.
boys and girls. It was a long night last night. And not even a good one. I wish I could say, I was out partying. No.
No. Well, I left about 10.
Right about. I didn't get to bed till like 1:30.
Oh, wow.
Okay. How could the hands that changed my diapers stab a young woman to death, Jen said. Barnes was stabbed more than 15 times. Police later found her in a pool of blood in the kitchen of her San Francisco apartment.
Wow. So he did this in California.
Yes, this was actually. I'll let you know where it is right now because we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna find out about all this anyway. This was actually up in the famous Haight-Ashbury area of San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Up at the Haight.
Okay. Which is very well, isn't that the place that's very well known for their like free love type stuff back then?
That was a major mecca of the hippie movement.
Yeah, that's what I was.
during the 60s.
Yeah.
So free love and lots of LSD.
Yeah, lots of LSD
marijuana,
and the
things
like almost the birth of homosexuality and where it became very prevalent, not prevalent so much as open.
Well, they don't call it the gay bay for nothing.
But I wasn't going to go there, but thank you.
I love that look on your face, like, and we're done, and we just got sued.
Yeah, because I wasn't going there, but I just know that it was like not the birthplace of homosexuality, but where it started becoming more open and accepted.
No, sadly, the birthplace of homosexuality, from what I've read, is the Greek Empire.
No, me too. I've read
Yeah,
that too.
Because I'm Greek, so anyway, let's go with that.
Welcome to Scott's life.
No kidding, huh? The trial was all over the news in the early 80s. The Carsons confessed to 3 murders in Northern California. They claimed to be killing witches, homosexuals, and abortionists in the name of Allah.
Oh, so they're Muslim.
Muslim. That's what they were claiming, at least.
Yeah.
Good is created and evil is a powerful parasite, said Michael. This is Bear. Carson.
Right, and it's important. I think it's important to note here that they're very white, right?
Very, yeah. These are
Okay.
2 white people. We'll post pictures. Of
Yeah,
them and
that'll
things
all
like
be on there. But just for clarification and stuff, because
Right.
when people think Muslim, they think Middle Eastern.
that. Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
So he said this during a press conference, and you'll see. Just trust me.
I'm
We'll circle back around.
trusting you.
It can only copy or feed off the light. This was a quote from him.
Okay.
This remained a dark family secret for years. I was hiding it, and it was destroying me, Jen said. Finally, when I was 19, when she was 19, Jen decided she had to look into her father's eyes at least once. It was like looking into the eyes of someone with no soul, she said.
Oh yeah. I've been there.
Oh, yeah. At the time, Michael was housed in Folsom Prison in the so-called celebrity wing. Visitations were held in a big open room.
Okay, but does it go on why it's called the celebrity wing?
I have no idea.
Okay. I'll have to look into that.
And said, hey, let's start with this shit. That's where Jen came face to face with another well-known killer, an experience that would shake her to the bone. Eric Menendez.
Oh.
The Menendez brothers, yeah.
Oh, so this is right around that time.
This is a quote from her. Eric Menendez gets up from the prison he was visiting, Jen said. Okay, whatever.
From the prison he was visiting, or?
I think that he was incarcerated. I think this is a misquote. But anyway.
Yeah.
And he comes and says hi to my father, and then says hi to me. And he winks at me, and I'm like, am I in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I think that too.
Jen now considers her dad to be pure evil. Quote, the definition of evil is hurting someone else for pleasure, she said. And I think that once you've crossed that line, there's no going back.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Jen is all about moving forward. She's a courageous young woman who refuses to be bound by blood or circumstances.
Okay.
Quote, all children can get through any experience and then transcend that experience, Jen said. Mm-hmm. Jen got her master's degree in counseling and now dedicates her life to working with children who have emotional and mental health issues.
You know, that kind of makes sense, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And she refuses to let her father define who she is.
Yes.
Her father's
Good
crimes.
for her. Good for her.
I know. And what about her dad? How much time did he get? Michael, age 54, was recently transferred to a prison in L.A. County. Both he and Susan will spend the rest of their lives behind bars.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's start with their story.
Yeah, I was going to say...
I thought that report was really relevant to everything that is in this story.
Well, I believe it will be because you're getting an outside perspective of somebody who was technically really involved. Not that she was involved in the murders, but she was involved in their life.
No, you just wait. We're going to circle back around to Jen.
Oh, my goodness. Now you're scaring me.
I'd be scared,
because I'm thinking of fucking Jessie Ray right now.
Mm-hmm.
So...
we'll circle back around to Little Miss Jen.
Okay, let's do it.
Will it have a happy ending? Will it not? Stay tuned.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, she's a counselor now, so...
In 1977, James Carson was in Phoenix, Arizona, when his first wife noticed a severe behavioral change and left with their daughter, Jennifer.
Okay.
Carson began a relationship with Susan Barnes, a divorcee with two teenage sons. Mm-hmm. James and Susan, they get married, and they become really involved in illicit drugs and mysticism.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
That's a far cry from Muslim.
Oh, people use excuses for everything.
This is true.
At some point, Michael Carson took the name, whatever the fuck is it? James Carson took the name of Michael Bear.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And he calls his daughter up, and he says, God's given me a new name, and that name is Michael. And Susan became known as Susan with a Z, Susan Bear. By 1980, after a year-long trip to Europe, the Carsons returned to the U.S., and they moved into the Haight-Ashbury area of San Francisco, which we've already covered, right? Where they continued to do drugs, and they were involved in what's called counterculture.
Okay, which
makes sense for it's the 80s.
For the area, too, yeah.
Yeah, the area, it's, like I said, free love, free thinking, liberalism, all that good stuff. And by now, Michael's former wife, Bear's former wife,
Jen's mom.
Yeah, Jen's mom is deathly afraid of him.
Oh, well, I would be.
Because she's afraid that he's going to come back and hurt her and take their kid.
Okay. I can see that fear.
I can too. You're talking like a lot of drugs, and then you're spouting off, God gave me a new name. And
I'm into mysticism.
And, like ooga booga shit.
Dude.
She went as far to move several times, though. She cut off all contact with her mutual friends and acquaintances. Because she didn't want him to know absolutely, not even remotely, where the hell she was.
Yeah, my mom did that with my father, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. In March of 1981, 23-year-old Karen Barnes, who's no relation to Susan, by the way.
Okay.
She was an aspiring actress from the great state of Georgia.
From where?
Georgia.
That state where you're from, right?
Georgia, yeah.
I thought you said JoJo.
No, Georgia.
Okay.
God dang.
Speak English, not hillbilly.
Jesus Christ. I am speaking English. Why do you hate me so much?
I don't hate you, but go ahead.
I need a cigarette to put up with your shit.
You probably do. And it's not that I'm trying to make light of this situation. It's just that your Southern comes out occasionally, and I love it.
So I'm going to continue with the story now.
Okay.
Before I have to put duct tape around your head, and then you're going to be like, he's a serial killer. He might be today.
Yeah.
So she's sharing an apartment with the Carsons.
Okay.
Later on, she's found dead in their apartment. As we talked about, she's stabbed, and her skull's crushed in, and she was wrapped in a blanket.
She's the one that he hit with the frying pan, right?
That's right.
Okay. I just want to make sure I was clear on that one.
Contrary to what Jen said, though, I have that she found in their basement and tucked away.
Tucked away in their basement? Is that what you just said?
Hidden away.
Okay.
And the cops said evidence suggested that Karen was killed by somebody that she knew, and the Carsons had become prime suspects.
Well, of course.
Because they had disappeared.
Oh.
We're talking the Carsons plus the two teenage boys.
Are gone.
They're gone.
Okay,
They
and
vanished.
they had previously lived there with this chick.
Right, they're all sharing the same place.
Okay, and then all of a sudden she's dead and they're gone.
And they're ghosts.
Okay.
Boom, they're out.
Okay, I just needed... I'm trying to follow along here. It's a little convoluted, but...
So a little bit later on, though, they confessed to killing Karen because Susan said she was a witch.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So the Carson's bail, right?
It almost sounds like the Salem witch trials, doesn't it?
It is, but with a lot of LSD and hallucinogenics and
that
counterculture.
I'm going to tie a rock around your leg, throw you in the river, and if you come back up, you're a witch, and if you don't, oh well, we were wrong.
Yeah, we were wrong. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Wish I worked today, actually. There's some people that I know that I would look at. Oh, son of a bitch, she's not a witch? Okay. Well, shit. Who knew? Well, we know now. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
So check this out. Since you live in the great state of Oregon, right across the river from me. Ha ha ha. I love that look on your face. Butthole pucker a little bit? Good.
Yeah, because I was around in that era. That's in 2000, right?
No. This is in the 80s.
Oh, okay. I was around in...
Think
but I was
Michael
young.
Jackson, leather jacket, one glove.
Yeah.
80s.
St. Helens erupting in 80.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So the Carsons bailed, and they fled to a mountain hideout in Grants Pass.
Ooh.
That's in Oregon, boys and girls.
Yeah.
It's it's southern Oregon-ish.
I was going to say that's Southern Oregon, yeah.
Right. So if you're talking major towns, it goes from the California border. It goes on Interstate 5. It goes Ashland, then Medford, and
Roseburg.
then Grants Pass,
Oh, then Roseburg.
and then Roseburg.
Okay. I just remember because, that's where I ended up at a rest stop, and I was going to either leave my son or turn him around because I was like, I am done.
That's how horror movies start. Too.
No, because he was screaming from
I
Wairika.
remember that story. So they stayed there until about the spring of 1982.
Yeah.
And then they moved to Alder Point, California. And after that, they lived and worked on a marijuana farm. And according to the other workers on the farm, the Carsons were antichrists who advocated revolution and predicted that a nuclear apocalypse would occur soon. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, because that is way past Muslim religion. Now, question for you. A marijuana farm. That's before it was even...
That's way before it was illegal.
So it was like it had to have been a hidden farm.
Yeah, this is... I remember seeing docuseries about it before it became... legal in most states.
Yeah,
not
wasn't it
all.
like tucked in the woods and
Yeah,
shit?
I saw one where like this really fat sheriff was being flown in a harness by a helicopter. He's hanging out, and he's just sitting there with like his cool John Law sunglasses. So, I'm up here looking for the marijuana farm. We're gonna bust them. That's what we're gonna do. Oh,
Like the aviator sunglasses?
Big pot, growers. They're killing the nation. Yeah, it's just pot smokers. It's all our fault. Fine.
It is. It's not the LSD
Johnny Law
guzzlers or
asshole.
the paint huffers.
Right. It's not the politicians or anything like that.
Right.
No, it's just pot smokers.
It says pot smokers.
Fucking reefer heads.
Which, I mean, if you've ever smoked the marijuana, from what I hear, you like sit on your couch and do nothing.
Actually, hypothetically speaking, what is that thing called? Oh, it's called a sativa, and that's called get shit done weed.
Yes.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically. And then you have the indica, which is the sit back and do nothing weed.
Yeah, that puts me to sleep. Hypothetically. Okay, so in May 1982, Michael shot and killed Clark Stevens, and he was a co-worker on the farm because they had a dispute.
Okay.
So he tries to hide the body by burning it and burying it under some chicken fertilizer, basically chicken shit, in the woods.
Holy shit.
And 2 weeks later, Stevens was reported missing to the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department, and it led to the discovery of his body and his burnt remains.
Yeah.
So, keep in mind, pot farm. That's why 2 weeks later, somebody went, whoa, dude.
I haven't seen Steven for a while, but...
I haven't seen him around. Like, where is he, man?
But we just had this smoke come up, and
his name was Clark. His last name was Stevens, by the way.
Oh.
Where's Clark at, man?
Wow, dude.
Maybe he's really high in the woods.
Yeah.
It's happened to me.
Well, and not just that is, I mean, to put it into perspective, yes, people are cremated all the time, but that is such an extreme heat.
It is.
Just lighting them on fire, even with gasoline as an accelerant, is not going to destroy their remains.
No, but, they're high, so fuck them.
Yeah.
So the Carsons had fled again. They're out. And guess who was the main suspect in Clark's death? Oh, the Carsons? Yeah.
You think so?
Duh. Because, Clark disappears. They find his dead body.
And they're gone. They're ghosts.
About the same time, they're sitting there going, maybe I should leave.
I was going to say, you'd think if they wanted to, cast suspicion away from them, they would stick around.
You would think, but this story gets even better.
Oh, dear God.
So they bail out, right?
Okay.
They leave their shit behind, and the cops go through their stuff, and they find a manifesto that the Carsons had written, which called for the assassination of then-President Ronald Reagan.
Ooh.
As well as, and I'd read this somewhere else, it's not in my report, but the assassination of Johnny Carson, the talk show host.
I know, but that is two extremes.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
That's why I raised my eyes, because I know who Johnny is. I mean, he always did the envelopes
Johnny.
And, put the envelope up to his head with his little swarmy hat on.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Because we're old as shit.
We are old as shit.
So, given the time it's the 80s, the cops could not track him down. It was a very hard time getting a hold of the Carsons or even finding where the hell they went. But keep in mind, they're working at a pot farm. It's not like you're filing for taxes. It's not like, hey, here's my change of address.
Yeah, and that was before the internet and a digital footprint and all that other shit.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
We just had Michael
GPS
Jackson
on our
and and two-tone leather jackets and white gloves and moonwalking. That's what we had.
Yeah, that was even before Milli Vanilli and shit. Yeah.
I feel like I should be saying that going, back in my day.
I know.
We didn't have this fandangled stuff. We had Thriller.
We had Thriller. We did the moonwalk
and
everywhere.
We did the moonwalking. So in November of 82, Michael Bear was arrested by the Los Angeles Police Department after somebody who knew him saw him hitchhiking.
Oh, wow.
However, the cops dropped the ball. And due to a mistake, he's quickly released and he vanished before.
So, a loophole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the cops fucked up on something.
Oh, of course
and I
they
couldn't find out what they fucked up on, but they fucked
Well,
up.
it's probably Miranda rights or something like that.
Could be, but this story is going to get better while he's in custody. So he quickly flees before the Humboldt County detectives have a chance to come down and say, dude, you happen to know a guy named Clark Stevens? Because we found his fucking body.
Yeah.
And you were a ghost, and we found your manifesto, you freak of nature.
Yeah, because that pretty much, didn't it lay out if it's a manifesto, it would lay out everything.
It was a manifesto.
Yeah.
So he bails, right? But he leaves behind in the cop car evidence.
Oh.
And things like he left behind his mugshot, an address information of places,
where they had been.
Yeah, and addresses that he knew, and a gun.
In the cop car.
In the fucking cop car. So that brought to mind when I was reading that, why wasn't he patted down? If I get stopped for a speeding ticket, we've talked about Vancouver PD before.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're a Vancouver cop, I just don't even want to talk to you. Jesus Christ. I get patted down for a speeding ticket.
Well, back in my day, and then they pat you down. It's like, can I search your vehicle? And then they go to pat you down. It's like, do you have any guns, knives, or needles that I need to know about?
Yep.
Yeah, always.
And which always amazes me they even ask that, because no, you don't need to know about them. I might have them, but you don't need to know.
Yeah, and you don't need to pat me down.
You don't need to pat me down, officer. No, please don't.
Yeah, I was speeding.
So the following January, the Carsons were hitchhiking near Bakersfield, California.
Okay.
And they're given a ride by a guy named John Charles Heller. He's 30 years old, and he's driving to Santa Rosa, California.
Okay.
So Susan,
Now, where's Santa Rosa? Is that south or north?
that is north, and I believe it should be towards the coast.
Okay.
So I've been to Santa Rosa before. I think that's a coastal town. Or
Okay. I'm just trying to picture in my head
probably up
whereabouts
towards
this
like
is.
San Jose, I think.
Oh,
It's
okay.
towards San
Okay.
Jose area. So Susan reportedly decided that Heller was also a witch and
of
had to be
course.
killed.
Of course.
So while he was driving on Route 101 in Sonoma County, and that is
That is on the coast.
that's on the coast,
Yeah.
an argument and a fight ensues
As he's driving.
as he's driving.
Okay.
Which caused the car to stop on, they said, River Road. A fight escalated outside of the car, and Susan stabbed Heller while he and Michael fought over a gun.
Oh, so she stabbed him.
Oh, yeah, she fucking shanked him.
She cut a bitch.
That's right. Well, for a man, and plus, he's a witch. So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to cut a witch, I guess.
Instead of a bitch, right?
That's right. So Michael Bear gets control of the gun, and he killed Heller in view of passing motorists.
Oh, shit. He didn't even try to hide this.
He did not give a shit.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, he didn't care. So one person who saw it, of course, calls the cops, and a high-speed chase ensues.
Holy cow.
They're trying to chase him down, and the Carsons attempt to get away in Heller's car, which they crashed. And, of course, both of them are caught, because it's not like they're saying, hey, you want to change cars and we can continue
Well,
this?
yeah. Well, and 101 is a very dangerous stretch of road anyways because of all the twists and turns.
I was going to say, yeah, it's got some straight spots, but it's got some
Yeah, because I
parts-
drove 101 down to California one time, and it was not... I had
yeah.
to drive because I was getting car sick.
I love that drive, though. After their arrest in 1983, they had a news conference, and we've talked about that at the beginning.
Okay, yeah.
Right? They confessed to the murders, including those of Karen Barnes, that they stabbed to death in their home in Haight Ashbury.
Okay.
Clark Stevens, and murdered. Oh fuck! I can't even read. There's my notes. There you go. And the murders of multiple.
So ones we haven't even heard about yet.
Right.
Okay.
In Humboldt County, and John Hiller, that they murdered while hitchhiking in the Napa Valley.
Okay.
On the 12th of June in 84, the Carsons were convicted of one murder and sentenced to serve 25 years to life in prison. We don't hear the fire department around here often.
I know.
The house is on fire.
Song for everything.
Yeah, pretty much. My life's a big song.
Burning down the house. Okay.
So later they were convicted of the two other murders. They were given an additional 50 years, which was a total of 75 years to life.
Okay. I have a feeling it's going to get even worse now.
And I've got the wrong copy of this because I don't know why. Anyway, according to several sources, the Carsons became eligible for parole in 2015. And here's where we're going to circle around.
Okay, hang on a sec. So they got 75 to life.
Right.
Back in 80.
Correct.
Well, the mid-80s.
Mid-80s.
Okay, so 2015 is not anywhere near 75 years.
No, it isn't. But they became eligible for parole. Good
But that's
behavior.
only roughly 30.
Right.
Okay.
Well, it's California. What can I say?
I know, but I thought even in California you had to do at least half your time. So
It's pretty close.
no, yeah, kind of.
Close enough. It's California.
Close enough for you.
They can't drive. They can't count. So there you go.
This is true.
Oh, God. I just thought we have a demographic in California, too. Sorry, Californians.
Okay, well, they know
My
that
bad.
they have a reputation for bad driving, so.
Let me light my cigarette.
Not all of you guys, but, you know.
Well, pretty much all of them. So they become Michael Bear Michael Carson, becomes eligible for parole in 2015, like I said.
Right.
Here's where we're going to circle around to Little Miss Jen.
Okay. I was going to say, that is like 6 years ago, so.
Uh-huh. Jen actually started a petition to get his parole denied.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you thought it was going to be a bad ending, huh?
I did. Well, the way you said we're going to circle back to Jen, I'm like, okay, what did she do?
I love keeping you hanging because you screw with me on so many damn things.
I do. And like I said, I'm going to screw with you tomorrow, too.
Because you're an ass.
I know.
So, as far as we both know, as far as everything I can, they're both still in prison.
Okay.
He was denied parole.
Because of this letter?
Not just that, but I actually found the website that his daughter created.
Oh, so she created a website on it.
That to, hey, sign this petition. This is my father. He should not be out. This man is pure evil.
Okay. So good for her.
She's been very, very proactive.
In keeping him behind bars.
Keeping him behind bars.
Good for her.
Yeah, and I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I think the dude is a lunatic.
Yeah.
He's been a lunatic. He'll always be a lunatic.
Yeah. He's one of those ones that will never be rehabilitated.
No, he's not. Even in an older age. Because even if he's lying to himself. Because oftentimes all of us have lied to ourselves.
At some point.
At some point. Like,
right.
Okay, like me. I'm a smoker.
Mm-hmm.
I've quit smoking, I don't know, probably 20, 30 times.
I was going to say at least a dozen.
Yeah, and I've always said, I'm never going to smoke again. I'm going to do it. I'm lying to myself, and I know that. But I have a feeling that the Bears lied to themselves in a way different way. Like, we're doing God's work. We're killing these witches. Where's the proof? That's the thing. I think that they use it as a bullshit excuse.
Oh, yeah, just to kill somebody.
Exactly.
I mean, and I'm sorry, this is not like the early, 1600s.
Right. This isn't the fucking Salem witch trials or everything that
yeah,
happened
and it's
Europe.
like, you know what? It's like, you can't just go around saying, you're a witch, I'm going to kill you.
Exactly.
It's not like it's illegal now.
It isn't?
Well, I don't know. Is it, Scott?
I don't know. I don't trust Christians. So.
Well, you don't trust anybody.
No,
so
I don't. I
don't
trust organized religion, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like all hell Satan in it or anything.
No. But I understand where you're coming from.
But yeah, God, there's so much that we could talk about with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is like almost like a series one that you kind of want to revisit occasionally, Like, well, okay, let's break this particular aspect of them down. Let's break,
Well, we could have gone in with saying, okay, this was drug related because they were on hallucinogenics.
Well, you could have, but
the behavioral changes started when he was still in Arizona.
Right.
So was he imbibing in recreational drugs there as a family man? We're talking a guy who has a master's degree, by the way, which doesn't mean jack shit.
What?
Yeah, I think it said Chinese studies.
Oh, that's right,
Chinese
studies. That's right.
Yeah, and I'll tell you firsthand, a master's degree is not easy to get. They don't hand them out.
It's not. It's not like they just give them out like freaking candy.
Right, exactly. You got to work for that. So he's obviously highly intelligent. My question is, what would make a guy of higher intelligence?
Well, let's not get into
okay,
Ted
no.
Bundy.
Most serial killers do have a great form of intelligence.
They have an extreme form of intelligence. Usually, I was going to say the good ones.
Well, okay,
but
but
the
here's
more
my question.
prolific ones.
Here's my question. I can understand if he was like a secret serial killer.
But he was out in the open.
Yeah, like there was, maybe some secret sex act, like he liked to dress up in women's panties and then
like
murder.
Gacy and
and killed, young boys or prostitutes.
Yeah, Dahmer.
Then I would go, okay, there's some deep-seated stuff. We can probably look at his childhood and find a catalyst.
This guy, it's like he just chose to be that way.
Exactly, and the biggest thing for me is I really couldn't find a whole lot about his childhood.
Yeah. I found that quite frequent sometimes. Though.
Yeah, I dug around, as best as I could with the time restraints that we have, and I really couldn't find a whole hell of a lot of his upbringing, but you would assume that it would have to be halfway decent.
Yeah, otherwise there would be more documentation. Because I've noticed that when the childhood is more like traumatic and stuff, there's more documentation on it.
Oh, hell yeah.
But if it's not, then it's like they just totally leave that out.
And I think that, honestly, anybody who's writing about them should include childhood.
I think so, too.
For the good or the ill.
Yeah, exactly. Because if they have a good childhood, we kind of need to know that in order to be like, okay, but, to compare here.
Exactly.
Because a bad childhood, you kind of understand, like with Carl Panzram. we had quite a bit of information on his childhood. Well, after 7.
Well, yeah, because his childhood was totally dog shit.
Yeah, and it's like, so we get all that information, but how come we're not getting it if they have a good childhood so that we can kind of like compare there? You know what I mean?
Right. And I can send a researcher or two to dig deeper, but I don't know if we're going to find anything.
I was going to say,
barring pulling public records and shit.
Yeah, on some of mine, I have like dug as deep as I can go, and it's like,
So, what gets me though, and it's in what I normally look at what people don't say, but right now I'm going to look at what was said. Is Jen said that she was a total daddy's girl, so obviously she looked up to her father.
Obviously,
her mother loved him.
Right. Well, and obviously he loved her too.
Right. There had to be a very loving dynamic because from her earliest memories aren't of, hey, my dad was a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
She's got good memories. So I'm kind of curious at what the turning point was.
I'm wondering if it had anything to do with his marriage to Susan.
No,
because she was an influence there.
Because the behavioral changes started
right before. Oh, that's right.
Before.
Because her mom left him because he was starting to scare her. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I had kind of put that off to the...
Yeah, so this is before the whole Susan era even happened.
Okay.
So I'm curious because it really doesn't show a catalyst.
Yeah.
And that's what concerned me with him the most is I like to look for, you know me, I love looking for the catalyst.
Well, yeah, and it's really weird. There's been a few that we had that it's like, I'm not seeing the catalyst here.
Oh, exactly.
Like Gilbert.
Oh, God, no. Think it, Price,
exactly. Price, there's like, it's like, what causes? Because, there was documentation that he had an excellent childhood.
Yeah, and fantastic parents.
Considering the fact that he was a 1%, less than 1% minority.
Right.
And his parents were pretty well off. They were middle class working Americans.
Yeah.
So what was and there was no documentation of abuse or anything like that. So what caused you to act that way?
Yeah. So, and I'm kind of wondering the same thing about
the Bears.
About the Bears in general.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It's just like a deep-seated hatred for mankind, I guess.
But there's nothing that shows prior...
No,
like a prior buildup.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
if we'll go back to childhood, if I could say, hey, he was, let's take something pretty simple. His uncle touched him in an inappropriate way one time. Okay, I could probably say, that might have weighed on his brain that one whole time, and then he had a mental break.
Yeah,
but there's nothing. There's not jack shit.
Yeah, and he converted to Muslim because maybe he was Catholic, and
And that's another thing because usually the people that I've seen that convert over to being Muslim. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we got two things. They say Muslim because they were doing it for Allah, but they said mysticism, which is against what Muslims believe because they kill witches.
Yeah. Totally. And
so
usually
people... Where's the truth in it? Where's the fucking truth that they're telling? I'm not seeing any goddamn truth that's coming out of their fucking mouths.
Yeah.
And that's my big concern with it. I think that they're full of shit. They got high. And on hallucinogenics, man, I'm not saying that they did this on pot because... as I've alluded to many times, I like to partake in the marijuana.
Yeah, and I partake too. And the only time I hallucinated was that one time when I didn't know it was laced with LSD.
I've had friends of mine hallucinate a little bit, but it's nothing that says you have to kill this witch.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
So...
And what is their justification for calling them a witch? Did they see an aura or, and I use air quotes on that because, some people have said, I saw a dark aura. Really?
Yeah. It's just freaking crazy. I think that it was anybody that they didn't like was automatically a witch, if you think about it.
Yeah, that sounds like exactly what it was.
Yeah, because they didn't mention that the coworker at the pot farm was a witch, but he just got into an altercation. Yeah, and boom, he's dead and buried.
He's dead and burned and hidden. Yeah,
yeah. He all of a sudden becomes the barbecue and then buried underneath some chicken shit.
What a way to desecrate somebody, right?
Yeah, the whole thing is fucked up.
Very.
So that is my whole presentation.
I'm just And you know what? This is what I don't like about you right now is you bitch because I do this to you. But you have left me with so many more questions than you left me with answers.
Well, I couldn't find any more.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see if we can all dig deeper and try to find something from his childhood.
Yeah.
And revisit this, but this is as much as I could find.
And he's still alive, right?
They are. They're both still alive, and they're both still incarcerated.
And they're both still in California.
They're both still in the
I'm
California
wondering if they're
penal
under the
system.
Carson, if they're under Bear, if they're under Carson.
Carson would be the given name.
Okay, so he never legally changed his name.
No.
He just called himself.
He just said, "God has given me a new name, and it is Michael Bear."
Which, you kind of wonder, like, because Michael is supposed to be the archangel.
Uh-huh.
The archangel, I guess.
Archangel.
I know. I knew what I said was wrong.
Arches are for McDonald's.
Fuck you. But yeah, so he's getting this illustrious archangel name, because they always talk about Gabriel and Michael being the,
Right.
So if you look into the Christianity part of it, so why did I'm wondering why was he given this name?
And that's another thing. If he's picking a very Christian type name like Michael,
and then he's anti-Christian.
but he's anti-Christian. So why isn't he picking a name that is more synonymous with being Muslim, like
Muhammad
or Abdullah or something like that?
Yeah,
something very Middle Eastern. Instead, he's picking Michael Bear.
Yeah,
I've had friends that converted over to Muslim. And when they change their names, it's always something like that. It's like, it's Mohammed, it's
or
Abdullah.
Rashid, or
it's something like that. They're not sitting there going, I converted over to being a Muslim, and now my name is David Peter, Jesus.
Well, yeah, and look at Muhammad Ali when he converted to Muslim
from Cassius Clay. Was his
he went
name.
from Cassius Clay to Muhammad, and then you have and it was Muhammad Ali, which are two very Muslim names.
Yeah, very much.
And then
so.
you had what was his name? Farrakhan. Not Yasser Farrakhan.
You're thinking of Yasser Arafat.
Yeah, I was thinking Yasser Arafat.
That's a dictator.
But
from,
Farrakhan took on that new persona where
right.
Yeah. So it just makes you wonder, or is it the fact that they just said they were Muslim?
I think that they're more saying that they were Muslim so that they can justify their actions.
Yeah, because that was around the time that you had the extreme faction of Muslims. Because I know for a fact, just like with Christians or any other religion, you have the extremes. Because let's look at the Westboro Baptist Church.
Damn it, you beat me to it. I was going to fucking say that.
Yeah,
say, Christians, you're not getting off the hook. You got the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are so extreme about it that they have these motorcycle groups that go out to fucking funerals for soldiers because the Westboro Baptist Church is saying that they deserve to die.
I heard a comedian that put it the best, and I think his name was Kyle Kinane.
Okay.
I think. But he had said, it's pretty amazing when you can piss off two opposite groups.
Oh, yeah.
Where they come together and work together. He said, on one hand, you have the Hells Angels.
Oh, yeah.
On the other hand, you got the homosexuals.
Oh, yeah.
And they work together. They're like, we don't agree with you. Well, we don't agree with you either. Oh, so Westboro Baptist Church. Come on, guys. We all got to band together.
Mount up.
Mount up. Can I run on your handlebars?
Because the Hells Angels, I don't know a lot about their doctrine, but because it's very in-depth, but they are very, white pride. There's, no, other nationalities part of Hells Angels, from my understanding. That's my understanding because I haven't dug so deep into them yet, which I want to for something
Well, motorcycle gangs are, from what I understand, were originally created. These were disenfranchised groups of people that were coming back from the Vietnam War.
Exactly. And then they kind of gravitated to their own national, because you have the African American bicycle clubs, you have the Asian bicycle clubs.
Not bicycle, motorcycle.
Motorcycle. That's what I meant to say, and I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
You can come and attack her now.
They probably will.
Just called your hog a freaking bicycle.
I
what the hell is wrong with
on
you?
Every level. Well, and that's just it.
You're fired from talking.
I know, but you have the Hells Angels, and you have these other. And I know it's fictitious, but you have the frickin' Sons of Anarchy, the Sam Crows. But you have them, and they are like Indians. And they have the Indians and the Harleys. They don't drive the Yamaha or the Suzuki or anything.
No crotch rockets.
No crotch rockets. So you have the the Indian bikes, or you have the Harley Davidson bikes, but there are different, and even they might even call themselves Hells Angels, but it's like, so you have the Hispanic group, like the frickin', I'll just relate it back to Sons of Anarchy.
The Gardeners and the
no, you have you have the Sons of Anarchy, and then you have the Mayans.
Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, so and then they also had an African American group, and then they had the Nomads, which ones that didn't, huh? Yeah. Then you had because I'm just, like I said, I'm referring to Sons of Anarchy. I know it's fictitious, but then they had the Nomads, which didn't belong to any faction.
You're just trying to backpedal because you just called a bunch of Hells Angels motorcycles bicycles.
I did.
You are so screwed.
I have apologized profusely. I'm so sorry. I'm just
No, she isn't. She's making fun of you
guys.
I
am just a white woman. I apologize.
Just a white girl. Make mistakes in a biker world. That's what you're doing over
there. No, I totally knew after I said it that it was fucked up, and I apologize. That is not what I meant.
That's some funny crap, though, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna die tomorrow.
I'll miss you.
They won't find me anywhere.
To apply for a co-host position, please contact Twisted Blue LLC at www.twistedbluellc.com.
Yeah, click on the contact us button, and I'll make sure Scotty has all the information to check the emails.
We need a new co-host here pretty quick.
Yeah, my bad.
So that's all I have for the Bears.
Yeah, like I said, I have so many questions. I kind of want to look them up and kind of write to them.
That's
because we're writing to a couple of other people in California and Oregon to try to, because we try to be fair. And yes, they are accused of atrocious crimes, but I want to get their side of the story.
Well, exactly, and that's kind of my
What made you do what you did? Help me understand you.
Well, we'll talk about that in post-production, see if we can get that done as well.
Yeah.
You never know. All right. This has been Brutal Nation. I've been your host, Scott Alexander, and your presenter of the day. So golf clap for me. And my co-host being Tammy Underwood.
Or Snaps.
There you go. Two snaps up.
Asbury.
There you go. This has been a Twisted Blue LLC production. Copyright 2021 by Twisted Blue LLC. Remember that you can send us an email at brutalnation.cast@gmail.com or check out the website at www.twistedbluellc.com. Also check out their other shows. This has been Scotty and Squatch. We'll talk to you guys.
This has been Brutal Nation.
Brutal Nation. I'm thinking about our other fucking show.
Yeah, we just got done doing a Scotty and Squatch episode, so he's a little still on that page.
I need a hell of a lot more coffee to put
We
in this
apologize
shit.
for his mistake. This is Brutal Nation.
It's my fear of the bikers killing us both because of your fuck up. Just saying.
At least you didn't call me by your ex-wife's name this time. So.
Oh, I could. I'm gonna start calling you that.
I will shoot you.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.